Hello class, my name is Brad Phelps and I'm going to be your instructor this semester for Management Information Systems taught online. So in this video, we're going to do a quick overview of the class and the syllabus, and I'm starting here inside of Brightspace. So this is our page for our class in Brightspace. Whenever you come in, you can see majority of things under the Content tab. Once you go to the Content tab, under the Course Information folder, you'll be able to find our syllabus. You'll see right here a link to your textbook and a link to your final paper assignment. Below the Course Information folder, you'll see a folder for every week of the class. So you can go to each week and you'll see a link to all the assignments for that week. And you see in week 7, you have the final paper. So let's go through the syllabus. Let's go back to Course Information, click on this last one. Alrighty, so our class goes through October 9th. In this first page, you have my contact information, you have my email and my phone. Email is the primary way to contact me, but if for some reason you can't get a response or need to reach out via phone for some reason, feel free to call me or text me. That's totally okay. This first page, you can kind of read over the objections or the course description and learning objectives. As far as the text, as I mentioned, the link to the textbook's in the corner, so there's a free textbook. It's right there in Brightspace. You'll click on it. I'll actually click on it now so you can see it. So here's the textbook. You can easily scroll through it and read it. For grades, there's a total of 1,875 points in this class. The first week, this week, you'll have a syllabus quiz that's 25 points. This just tests your understanding of the syllabus, make sure you understand some of the core parts of the syllabus as far as how the class will function. And then the rest of the quizzes are chapter quizzes. And there's 10 quizzes. We'll cover 10 chapters, be one quiz per chapter, each are worth 100 points. So that's 1,000 points total. So that's a little bit over half of your grade. We'll also have discussion boards. These are 50 points each. There's 11 topics, so it's 550 points. And then finally, you'll have a final paper, which is 300 points, which will be due the last week of class. Here I have the KBC grading scale just for easy reference. Some stuff about late assignments. Key thing about late assignments is that each assignment is due the week it is assigned. And there really is no late work in this class. It's assigned on the first day of the class week and it's due on the last day of the class week. And I'll explain that when we talk about the schedule in a few minutes. There is an exception to that. I do offer one quiz late. Right down here I mentioned this. One quiz can be turned in late if you reach out to me about it. I do not offer makeups on discussion questions, and that's because they're meant to be interactive. And once the discussion topic closes, it's kind of hard to have a discussion by yourself. So discussion topics cannot be turned in late. Quizzes can't be turned in late, with the exception of one quiz you can ask for. And I do that because we all have things that come up in our life. You have a week where you just can't get to an assignment for some reason. You can use your one free late quiz to help accommodate that. So for discussion questions, these are a little different than quizzes. So the quizzes, you'll be answering multiple choice questions that are either right or they're wrong. The discussion questions do not have a exact right answer. These are your opinion. So you will use sources in the book, sources you find online, and you'll answer these to the best of your ability based on your opinion. So you don't have to worry about getting right or wrong. You just need to make a position and explain why you think that's the right answer to get full credit. There are some requirements. One is needs to be at least 125 words. That's your first post. your first post is due by Friday. So each class week starts on Tuesday, and your first post is due by Friday. And then the class week ends the following Monday. Once again, I'll show the schedule in a minute. This will make more sense. So the class week is from Tuesday to Monday. So Tuesday it's assigned. You have your first post is due by Friday. And then you have to do at least 2 follow-up posts by the end of the class week, which is Monday at midnight. Now, you don't have to wait until Friday to do your follow-up post. You could do some sooner. The problem is you need someone else to post to reply to. Therefore, you may not be able to until Friday if other people have not posted until Friday. This is going to be a small class, so the discussion will be a little more difficult, so you'll have to use a little creativity on that. There's some more details in here you should read about requirements on discussion posts. All right. One thing I should mention here, it talks about academic integrity. Make sure you're not using AI for your discussion posts or your final paper, because if it looks like it has AI in it, I'll check it, and I don't want you to lose points on that. Alrighty. Class schedule. So I mentioned class weeks. So here you can see, as I mentioned before, each class week begins on a Tuesday and ends on Monday. And I'll use this table here to represent that. So Tuesday morning until Monday at midnight is a class week. So ours begins on Tuesday, August 25th, and the end of the class week is midnight on August 31st, Monday. For each week, I've laid out these assignments for that week, and you'll see these same assignments based on week in these folders on the side. So if you go to week 1 over here, you'll see the same assignments mentioned here that are in the syllabus. So in week 1, you have 3 assignments that are graded. You have a syllabus quiz, chapter 1, and topic 1. So what you'll do is, this is your reading assignments. You'll read chapter 1 and read the syllabus, of course. Take the syllabus quiz and take the chapter 1 quiz over chapter 1. And then you'll also do your discussion topic. Now week 1's a little light because we're just getting started. Week 2 becomes a good template for what most weeks in the class will be like. So starting week 2, you have 2 chapters to read, 2 quizzes, 1 over each chapter, and then 2 discussion topics. So 2 chapters to read, 2 quizzes, and 2 discussion topics. And there's 2 per week of each because this is a half semester course that goes at double the speed of a normal course. So there's more assignments. So week 2 is that way, 3, 4, 5. And then as we get to near the end of the semester, or this half semester, week 6 is a little light again. I only give you 1 quiz in week 6. The reason I do that is, as you see, week 7, your final paper is due. So I'm trying to lighten the load a little bit on your schedule in week 6 to give you more time to work on your final paper if you haven't started working on it yet, or if you need more additional time. So finally, week 7, you have your final paper. It's due on that Wednesday. And once you do that, you're done with the course. So that is the syllabus and shows you all the different assignments we're going to do. Inside of your Brightspace, there's a tab here. You can go to discussions and see just discussions. You should also be able to see your grades. But if you have any questions or problems run into in this class, reach out anytime. I'm happy to help. I look forward to exploring this topic with you this semester, and I hope you have a great time in this class and learn something useful you can use in your future career. Thank you very much, and talk to you again soon.